Welcome to the Empowered Working Mom Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Jocelyn Young. Our podcast mission is to share stories from all working moms, whether you work outside the home or a stay-at-home mom. We believe everyone has a unique story and that we found that storytelling is a powerful way to connect and learn from each other. Because sharing and listening to each other's stories allows each of us to feel connected, supported, and inspired. And we're super excited to bring you diverse stories from fellow working moms like you. So go ahead and grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and listen in to today's story to feel acknowledged, encouraged, and most importantly, that you're not alone in this experience as a working mom. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hey, working moms. Before we dive into today's episode, I have a quick announcement to share, and I wanted to give a shout out to our first sponsor and donation to the podcast. So thank you to podcast listener with the initial CL. We appreciate your support with your donation. And if you are wanting to support our podcast by being a sponsor or just giving a donation, you can do a one-time donation or be a monthly sponsor to the podcast. Your donation supports the work of the podcast and our mission to uplift and unite all working moms through storytelling by sharing stories. And so you can go to www.empoweredworkingmomrevolution.com/podcast to click on the donate button if you would like to donate and sponsor and support our podcast. So thank you again to podcast listener with initial CL for your donation. We really appreciate your support. And without further ado, let's dive into today's episode. Hey everyone, I'm super excited to share with you today's story with Mary Dibble, who is a life purpose and goal success master life coach. And in this conversation, I really appreciated just her sharing of her journey through postpartum depression, but also her journey from being a working mom to stay-at-home mom and now an entrepreneur, and just the challenges that she faced with balancing work, family, and personal growth. And I really appreciated her sharing of how she identified her strategies for managing her stress and the responsibility that comes with being a working mom, and the tips that she has for organizing and prioritizing all the things that you need to do as a busy working mom. So I'm excited for you to listen in, and let's dive in. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Empower Working Mom Revolution. I'm so excited for today's guest. We have Mary Dibble on here, and I love to share a story of how I connect with our amazing guests. So Mary and I connected, I believe, on LinkedIn. I got a message from her, and we work in similar spaces in terms of audience. And I'm part of her Facebook group. And so she'll talk about that later, and I'll share with you about that. But if you're looking for a mom tribe, a mom group to just connect with other fellow moms, or if you're a mompreneur, like that is the space to be. So she and I connected on social media, everyone. Social media is about being social. This is being social. Mary's laughing with you. You can totally laugh out.
Okay, good. I love it.
Social media is about being social, and this is the benefits of being social on social media. Okay, so if you're laughing with me, I just had to say it. But I'm going to do a formal introduction of Mary. But Mary, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. So excited to be here.
Yes, we're going to have a bomb-ass conversation,
Oh,
y'all.
yes,
Get ready. Strap your boots on here. All right. So Mary Dibble is a proud wife and mother of 3 incredible kids, 2 amazing sons, and a beautiful daughter. But there's so much more to her than just her family role. She's on a mission to help mothers unlock their full potential and thrive in every aspect of her life. Let's just clap that out, everyone. Okay. She wears many hats, but the one that truly sets her heart on fire is her role as a life purpose and goal success master life coach. Woo! She's witnessed countless transformations in the lives of hardworking mothers, including herself, struggling to find themselves after self-sacrificing for most of their lives. So true. As the host of the Radiant Mom Rising podcast, y'all have to check out her podcast. Mary's passion is empowering you to dream bigger, embrace your unique purpose, and rediscover the authentic, radiant you. You can find out more about Mary by visiting her website, www.marydibblecoaching.com. It's Dibble, all one word. You can check her on Facebook and on Instagram at Mary D Coaching. And whether you're a seasoned mom or just embarking on this incredible journey, be sure to subscribe to her podcast, Radiant Mom Rising, for an enlightening conversations that's bound to leave you feeling inspired and ready to rise. And so you should definitely check that out because I don't know, I might be on there too, maybe. I'm not sure. So
Ooh, you are, girl.
yeah, that
I
was
can't
a
wait.
fiery conversation. It was so
Oh,
much fun.
it
Yeah.
was. It sure was.
Yeah. So, Mary, thanks you so much for just your time and your energy, y'all. This is going to be a fun conversation because Mary and I've had conversations already
Yes.
together. And we have so much fun. So,
We sure do. We sure do. I'm so excited about this. I was like, I've missed you, girl. I was like, I'm so glad we got back together.
yes.
We have such a great energy. Like just everything that we're about. Like I love our levels like of it. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. And so I want to start off with tell me some significant moments in your life that have shaped you to who you are today as a working mom.
Yes. Well, I started working at a very young age. I've always had really strong work ethics, surprisingly, with the past that I've had, of also being wild and addicted to drugs at an early age. But
Yeah.
I do have this drive, that I give credit to my mom. She was always hardworking, always independent, never relied on anybody to do anything. So, I obviously picked that up. And honestly, when I had my first child in my 20s, it really turned things around for me. It gave me purpose. It taught me a lot about love that I never even knew existed. And it
Yeah.
gave me the strength to want more out of life. But at that time too, I was still young, still really trying to figure it out. So I
Yeah.
still fell into, just working for other people.
Yeah.
But I did get to move from like the restaurant into like banking and then from banking into an oral surgeon's office. So it was kind of neat to have these different experiences, learning lessons, skills that I built over time through the different, types of jobs.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. And it wasn't until later in life that I met my soulmate and we ended up having two more children. And at that time, when I had my first one with him, an opportunity came up for me to work for family on his end and doing their bookkeeping and payroll and things like that from home so
Yeah.
that I could be at home and not have to worry about daycare and things like that. So I took it. And it's definitely been quite the challenge and journey. Going from a working mom where I had to put my son in daycare to a stay-at-home mom working a full-time job and then having one child into two children.
Yeah, such a big
Yeah,
jump. Yes.
it is. It is. And it was very challenging in the beginning, especially when the second one came, trying to handle having a newborn, a toddler, and doing my job full time. I only had a week off when I gave birth to my second child. So it was like I had to jump right back into the flow of things and manage all of that on top of having dogs
Yeah, that's
and on
another
top of
child.
living with men. Yeah,
Yeah.
living with, men and a teenager and a man. And it's like, bless everyone's heart. It was really challenging in the beginning. Like
Yeah.
probably I was so stressed. I was really stressed. And I was going through postpartum
Mm,
depression really bad there. It was something I already struggled with in my life. And then, when your hormones are so off balance like that, no surprise, it takes its toll on you. And life coaching for me was like the solution. It was the one thing that really gave me back my life. It helped
yeah.
me to see things differently. But yeah, like I would say that those, having to just figure it all out and the doors that opened as I just kept showing up and then was introduced into life coaching and realizing the power of my mind and the of manifesting what I wanted in life. I just
Yeah.
never really knew about things like that. And just since I've learned and allowed myself to explore it and then to really implement what I learned, it has completely transformed my life. And I'm so excited to be in a place now where I can help give back. And I also was able to turn that chaos and
Yeah.
overwhelm
Yeah.
into something really magical to where I really am a boss at what I do now. Because I
Yeah.
not only, had this job, but I actually made the decision to become an entrepreneur in the midst of all of it and added it to
Wow.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. You really like totally like shifted it all. You're like 180
Yeah.
completely.
Yes, yeah, it's truly been such a journey in these past few years of my life alone. Just, growing for myself because I
Yeah.
didn't realize how much I was sacrificing for everyone else and just
Mm.
like killing myself
Yeah.
mentally, physically, trying to please everybody else
Oh,
and just make sure everyone else is taken care of and forget Mary, forget her.
yeah.
And yeah, that's terrible. I mean, it really doesn't lead you down any good path, doesn't
That I totally,
it?
totally so I totally resonate. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that resonate with that. It's like, how did you like, I hear like you got to that point where you realized that, but how did you work through that to get to the other side?
So one of the best things that I ever did, I feel like, and it's
Mhm.
something simple, but I changed my perspective and I worked on changing a lot of my beliefs. But the first key, I felt like that really turned things around. So anyone who has kids at home, especially young ones, the mess of the house is something that is like never ending.
Oh,
And for so
mhm.
long, like someone like me who's very like likes everything clean and organized,
Oh, here,
it
here,
was a
yes.
true challenge to try to do my work stuff while maintaining the household, while trying to get everybody else on board to keep up with the work and the cleaning that I did. And it felt like no matter how much I cleaned, 5 minutes later, you wouldn't even tell that I touched anything. And it would drive me bonkers. And I finally, through gratitude journaling and through
Mm.
shifting my perspective, was able to look at it for the first time differently and be like, I'm blessed that I have children who love me and are just having fun and growing, and that I get to have this beautiful house, this beautiful family that allows for this mess, and not to mention, it is temporary. It's not gonna always be this way. And one day I'm gonna probably miss it because it gives me something. It gives me purpose.
Chris, yeah.
So it was just shifting that made me feel okay. All right, so let it be messy. It's all good. Just let it be messy. I will
Yeah.
clean it when I get to it, and it's
Yeah.
not the end of the world. And I love delegating.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and clean up after everybody. You got hands, you got feet, you can
Yes.
you, you can do stuff
Yeah.
too. And
Yeah.
we have all really worked together as a team. And I believe in that because you are developing these amazing skills for your own children for when they become adults. I have a 15-year-old who, cleans his own room, cleans his own bathroom, does his own laundry. He, mows the yard. He does dishes. He helps out and contributes. He helps watches over his brother and sister sometimes so me and his dad can go play pickleball and get some exercise. So it's
Oh,
like,
yes. Pickleball. Yes.
yeah, how I love pickleball. My
Mm-hmm,
goodness. Yeah,
mm-hmm,
that is such a
mm-hmm.
fun thing. But yeah, so it's like, but it's just not, it's finding ways to not put everything on you,
Yeah.
and allow yourself to see it differently. That was a huge moment where like I was able to just handle it all and not
Yeah.
feel so overwhelmed and upset because it was always there, you
Yeah.
know?
It sounds like that perspective making, like taking a step back and having
Yeah.
a different perspective, almost, I don't know, you tell me if I'm hearing this, it almost kind of released also the mom guilt because that's such a prevalent thing. Like I know I'm such a recovering perfectionist, recovering y'all. Okay, recovering. Okay. And I am a recovering organization cleaning person because that was like, I think I found a lot of my purpose and pride in that. Like I have a clean house, but y'all, as Mary just said, when you have kids, you don't have control over that.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing that like having that perspective helps to kind of maybe even help you release from the mom guilt because you're like, you know what? It's okay. Or I don't know. Is that kind of what?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. It does. It helps you with that. And it also it gives them a safe space to be messy themselves and learn and figure things out and have fun. I mean, I don't want them to have such a like be terrified, like, oh God, I made a
Yeah.
mess. You know,
Yeah.
mommy's gonna be mad at me. Like, I don't want them to have that kind of perspective. And I don't want to be so hard on them that they don't want to have fun because it's like everything
Yeah.
feels like work. Me too, you
I
know? So it's
know.
like and honestly, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things that and I love there's a lot of things out there that will teach you ways to declutter, to be more organized, and that's fantastic. I highly recommend that. I can't wait to be able to implement a lot of that. And I do what I can
Yeah.
with some of the things that I've learned through that. I'm grateful for it
Yeah.
because someone like me who has ADHD, do I get like easily distracted and pulled from one thing to the next? I don't know if anybody else suffers with that, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
that was the thing that I feel like was also a really big challenge was having to like feeling like I was being pulled in 100 different directions with my job, with having to keep up with the kids, with the dogs needing to go in and out, like with knowing that I needed to do this, this, and that. And then it's like you have one boss saying, I need this, and one person saying, I need this, and you have somebody calling, a customer calling and needing this. And it's like having to make sure that you don't forget any of that.
Yeah.
Like you really get, and so I had to learn too about like really prioritizing and not putting that guilt on myself, that pressure on myself that I have to do it all at once. Like
Once. Yeah.
they can wait. Certain things can wait. It's okay. They're not going to die. Like and
Yeah.
it's like that really helped me too to like be like breathe, pause. What is time sensitive? Like what do I need to prioritize right now and just do it and get it over with and then move on to the next thing. And you know, I'm huge with like Google Calendar. That
Mm-hmm.
helps me with remembering like paying bills or timelines or knowing that I have this coming up or I need to add this onto something on this date. Like every one of the best ways I organize my weekly is
Yeah.
with my schedules is every evening I always check the next day. What do I have going on?
Oh my
So
God.
I
That's
can,
the
yeah,
same thing. Yeah.
yeah, do you do that? Yeah, it
Yeah.
helps me to mentally prepare like, okay, I'm going to have this meeting or this interview or this thing going on. So I know how to manage my day with everything else that
Yeah.
comes in because, you
Yeah.
know, things are unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah. And I love how it takes off the mental load because I
hmm
know as moms, like I, self-induced mental load.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm just calling it out there, everyone. Self-induced
hmm
mental load. But I love that it's like prioritizing like what's time sensitive here, and prior doing that and finding your own system to help you relieve that mental load, but also finding your way to look at a different perspective to help
Yeah.
you go through certain challenges. I'm curious to hear about, you shared your story of you've done a lot of different things, and now I know you are running your own business, right? And
hmm
and also while you're also doing another job too, and you're a
hmm
mom. Oh my gosh. I'm not,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like like what propelled you to just take that leap of faith to add on
I know,
to
right?
be
A lot of
building
people
a business?
probably, yes, a lot of people be like, she crazy. I
Are
don't
you
know what.
guys?
And you know, and it's funny because I had those thoughts in the beginning when I
Oh,
first was thinking, even thinking about maybe I could be a life coach, maybe I could do this.
yeah.
I remember those thoughts coming in of being like, who are you to think you could be like her? Who are you to think that you can handle and take this on? Like,
Oh, yeah,
you got enough
totally.
on your plate, lady. Like, this is you're crazy to even think you can do this. And it was really reflecting on where I am
Mm-hmm.
and thinking about where I want to go in life and being like, Mary, do I want to sit here and work the rest of my life for somebody else to live wealthy, for somebody else
Mm-hmm.
to live good while I struggle and I don't get to take my kids on vacation? I don't get to, I struggle like just
Mm-hmm.
living paycheck to paycheck. Like, do I want that to be my end all be all? Do I want my kids to live like that? Like, do I
Yeah.
want them to see that as that's how
Yeah.
their parents are? They always struggled.
Yeah.
It was like that moment that made me realize, like, no, no, no. I know I'm meant for more. I know that I've not gone through all the crap that I've been through for nothing, to
Yeah.
just get by in life.
Yeah.
That's not going to be my story.
Yeah.
And so having that, I decided to just take baby steps in the beginning. I just
Mm,
started researching and just following coaches and following people. And the next thing I know, I fell in love with this person and joined one of their programs. And from their programs, I learned valuable stuff that helped me even more so know what, hey, ooh, I can implement this. I will now have this knowledge that
yeah.
I can now help my clients with. And from there, I went into certifications and started taking certification classes. And next thing I know, I'm certified in this and certified in that. And I'm like, okay, I'm learning. So I'm doing it. And I
Yeah.
did it in between. So I would do it on my lunch breaks. I would do it when I was caught up with work stuff and I had nothing else going on. I would sometimes do it in the evenings when my husband was home and he was able to watch the kids so I could go join a class or do something and do some learning. I sometimes did it on my weekends. So but I mixed it up though. I really believe that the best way to actually stay consistent and get the results you want is by honoring and valuing your time. Because,
Mm,
so many people feel like they have to jump in 110% and do it all this and that within like
mhm.
90 days. I got to make this, blah, 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 or I got to do all this and that. And you sacrifice time with your family. And I
Yeah.
remember one time looking at myself and I was like, Mary, this is not the way I want to help my clients start a business. This is the way I want to run my business. I'm going to find a way to do this where I still get to enjoy my family, where I don't sacrifice the one thing I'm doing this for. And so
Hmm.
I decided to take a break and just be like, you know what? I'm going to honor my time and have my boundaries of when I'm going to do my work stuff. And I'm going to allow this to happen in the long haul, which is why I never gave up my job because I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do what I can when I can and just work my way up there. And when I arrive, I'm going to be just right and ready for when I attract the clients that I'm meant to serve. And it's been the
Yeah.
best journey ever because not only have I accomplished more than I ever thought possible, but I've learned so much and I've accomplished so much in a short amount of time by having that mentality rather than just feeling like, oh my God, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Oh my goodness, I'm not doing enough posts. I'm not doing enough lives. I'm not doing what she tells me to. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm behind. Nobody's going to ever hire me.
Yeah.
I did not want that to be the energy and to be the way my business ran because Lord knows if I'm helping you as a client to get your business, we're going to find a way that you enjoy the process and that you really make things happen for you on your timeline and nobody else's because that's the thing. We got to stop comparing people.
Yep.
What happens for her is may not happen for you, but that's okay because your timing is going to be just right. You got to trust in that. And that's what I learned. And it's the best way to go about doing your business. So going back to kind of your question about what motivated me, it was like knowing that and then also truly my kids. Like I want to be a good role model for them to look at and be like,
Hmm.
man, look at mommy
Hmm.
following her dreams. She's chasing her dreams, like so that
Hmm.
they believe in the endless possibilities for their lives because when they get older, I want them to believe in themselves. I want them to love themselves and just know that they could do whatever they want, well, within reason, of course. I don't need them grow up being serial killers or anything like that. I gotta watch that one
Yes.
too, but you know what I mean. I want them to have like
Yes.
amazing opportunities and to
Yes.
know that it takes action. I mean, really, if you really think about it, you can learn you can have all the knowledge in the world,
Yeah.
but if you don't do anything with it or you don't give back,
Yeah.
what good is that?
What good is that? Yeah, what good is that? Okay, y'all. I mean, Mary was just preaching here. You need to like pause and rewind
Oh
and
my God.
listen to that again
Yeah.
because this is like a life lesson here. It really is. Even though, like Mary just went into entrepreneurship, myself too, but it is about anything that you feel deep inside that you are being called to do. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what it is. It's like, is it, going after that next promotion or starting a new hobby? Like, I love what you said. It's like taking action, but little action, right? And
Yeah.
and making it like you don't have to hustle. Y'all, if you've been on social media or whatever, I don't know, in my space and in similar in Mary's space, Like the hustle culture, that's like old news. All right. That's in the early 2000s, y'all.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
We are in
Hmm.
2024 here.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
and it's all about like, I love what you said. You make the time that works for you.
Yeah.
Like, I love that because that totally, I don't know, we live in such a should culture and we're all shoulding on
Yes.
ourselves. Like, and who likes
Yes.
that? Doesn't feel
Exactly.
good. It's
Uh-uh.
stanky. So it's
Yes.
like,
And not to mention it's disappointing when you start doing the shoulds and things aren't happening. It's like, what? And then you
yeah.
blame yourself, you beat yourself up. And I see so many people
Oh
give
my
up
gosh.
because of that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, like you just got to keep going. I mean, trust me, I've had it. We've all been there. When you're in the beginning, you have people just not show up. You
Yep.
get people to sign up. It's okay. You still show up. You still show up and get the practice. You still show up and look at it as a way that, like, hey, I still gained the experience of how to even put one of these together. I mean,
Yeah.
there's always a great way to reflect and see things that you don't realize is all leading you to exactly where you dream of going and where you're meant to be. And there's nothing better than that. There's no better way to live than just following the path and
Following
letting
the
it
path.
and enjoying it while you get there, you
I
know?
love it. Enjoying it. That's the prize. The
Yeah.
prize is the journey.
Yeah.
Is the
Yep.
journey. And then when you get there, it's the cherry on top.
Hmm. And even
Right?
when you get, and you know what I love that I've learned from some of the most successful people in this world too, is a lot of times even when you arrive,
Mhm.
it's like you don't stop there.
Yeah.
You get almost like another light under your butt to get
Yeah.
something newer going on. Like you want more. Like it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, now how much further can I go? And it's so
Yeah.
cool because that's how these people build such successful empires and legacies and things like that. Because it's one thing to have like this long-term goal, but there's so much more
More.
potential that we don't even realize we have within us that we won't know until we kind of level up and just get, kind of
Yeah.
find our way there, right?
Yeah.
That's
It's
what we're
like
doing now.
that's what we're doing. And that's like with anything. It's like you get curious. I'm hearing it's all about curiosity. Like curiosity and it's like I got this vision as you were sharing that. I'm like, oh, it's like you're walking down a path towards this door. You get to the door, you open it, and you're like, holy cow, there's more.
Right? Yes, I love that.
And that's so
Yes.
exciting. That's
Yes.
so exciting. So what could you share with our listeners of like if they're listening and they're like, "Man, I've been thinking about this hobby or this like what is the one thing that you can leave them with as an encouragement?"
Just go do it. Don't think
Mm,
about it. Just go do it. Go do something. Even if it's as small as pulling it up and researching about it. Watching other people who are successful in that and just seeing them and getting lit up inside of you of like, man,
wow.
that could be me one day in my own way,
Yeah.
but just do something because you're
Yeah.
never going to get anywhere by just doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, it's as simple as that. Like you've got to do. I'll tell you, I'll never forget with even just when I first thought about podcasting, I was like, that never really came to me that I would ever be capable of actually doing something like that. And now
Mm,
I'm like, what, almost episode 25 coming out and just I'm on a roll. Like it's crazy the things that you can get done and accomplished when you just allow, like you say, your curiosity. Just
yeah.
be curious, and then do something about it.
Yeah. I love how you actually reframed when you just said, look at the people who are successful and be inspired. And I love what you said, how you said that because my first thought was like, oh, look at the people who are successful and you feel like inferior or like comparison, right? And I loved your reframe. So another place for y'all to rewind and listen again. Like it's that perspective. Mary, you're really good at perspective here. It's like a different perspective.
Active. Yeah.
That took me a while to really actually like uh integrate and actually like have that perspective whenever I saw other coaches and solopreneurs who are successful to say to be in that mindset and have the perspective of like, wow, that they're showing me what's possible versus,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm not there yet. Like it's such a
Yeah.
different.
Yes, and you know what the perspective to have with that is that that's just evidence, more evidence that it's possible, like you say. And that's exactly how you should see it. And you should be happy for them. You should cheer them on. I've always been that way. I'm very supportive of other people because to me, your success is my success because it's only more proof in the pudding that it is meant for us all. So just no matter what, just keep going. Don't give up. Believe in yourself and listen to your intuition. Really listen
Yeah.
to yourself. And enjoy the now. My goodness. Now is all that there ever is. If you really
Yeah.
think it's all that there ever is. And so you
Yeah.
don't want to miss out on valuable time with your kids or valuable time for yourself because you're so focused on the end game too.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
be wary of that.
Yeah. Ooh, you're just throwing truth bombs here and there,
I know,
Mary.
right? I'm giving it
You're
all,
just you're
man. I'm
you're
gonna
you're on fire. I love
I just love sharing what I've learned. I really do. I'm so passionate about like getting these messages out there and inspiring moms and women just to, live our best lives because we deserve it. We really
Yeah.
do. And it's there. It's waiting for us.
Yeah.
So by God, let's go get it.
I love it. It's just like you just exude like being of service. It's like, and that's the beauty of it when you go and take action on whatever you do,
Yeah.
right? It is you're actually like serving beyond yourself. That's going to create a ripple effect of impact,
Yeah.
like beyond yourself. So I love that. I love that. How can people get in touch with you or even work with you? What's the best way that, or do you have a free offering that you can share with our audience?
I will send you the link for it because it's kind of like a checklist that gives you like I'd have to like show it to you, but it's for mom entrepreneurs really to kind of
Hmm.
help them get some grounding and some,
Hmm.
like a little checklist to kind of help them
Yeah.
building up like affirmations or things that they are grateful for and just kind of giving them some resources and tools to help them get going. I also offer one-on-one coaching right now. So if anyone ever wants to just even get on a free call with me, I always like to offer the first time free. Like, let's get
Yeah.
to know each other. Let's have a chat. Let me see where you're at, what are some of the goals you want, and see if I'm even a good fit for you to help
Yeah.
you hold you accountable, help hold your hand and be with you through that because
Yeah.
Lord knows we need that support. And even the most successful people in this world have coaches. And that's why, because it's hard when you do try to do this all on your own.
Oh yeah.
I'm working on a program that I can't wait for that to release. But I'm always working in the background to learn new things so I can provide the most value. But you can find me on Facebook. Come visit me. I have a Facebook group, Radiant Mom Tribe. Come join us there. I'm working to be more active in there and come and share more of myself and advice and tips for you all. I'm trying to make it as fun as possible. Check out my podcast, Radiant Mom Rising. I'm incredible guests like Jocelyn here. She's going to be coming in season 2, but I have amazing women there that share such amazing stories and gives you great insights. And it's like this fun, very
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Y'all got to connect with Mary. Y'all got to connect with Mary. Well, thank you so much for dropping so many truth bombs in a lot of places where you're gonna have to pause and rewind and listen to it again, right? It's
I
like
will.
let's tweet that and tweet that, as Oprah would say, right? Like there's a
Yes.
lot of tweets in this episode.
Oh, I love it.
But thank you so much for sharing with us, your journey and how you've overcome challenges and how you took that leap of faith by taking
Yeah.
small, tiny actions. And just that one advice, just go do it, take
Yeah,
action.
exactly.
So thanks so much for being here on the show, Mary.
Thank you so much for having me, Jocelyn. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks. Once again, thanks for tuning in to today's episode. If you haven't subscribed to the show, go ahead and click subscribe so that you don't miss out on each week's new story. And lastly, if you enjoyed today's episode, we invite you to leave a rating or write a review on Apple Podcasts so that more moms can discover this show. Our mission here is to create a space for moms to feel seen, heard, and not alone in this journey of motherhood, which is why we are sharing stories from all working moms, whether they work outside the home or at stay-at-home moms. So by you leaving a rating or a review, more moms can discover this show. How to leave a rating on Apple Podcasts, just scroll down on our Improv Working Mom Revolution show page in the Apple Podcast app and select a star rating. To leave a review, scroll down on our show page in the Apple Podcast app and tap Write a Review. Thank you so much for your support. We can't wait to share with you next week's story on the podcast, and we wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, y'all.